The reason I say this, I'm hoping you guys are connecting the dots here. You know, when we're talking about resumes or putting written emails or anything that we write down, you know, saying that that I'm enthusiastic, there's nobody on the planet that's going to believe you're enthusiastic because you said you're enthusiastic. These things have to be earned. You can't say that you're a person of humility. I'm a humble person. I want an award for my humility, in fact. Right? I mean, we cannot claim these things. They must be demonstrated. So this is just my warning against writing these things on resumes. Because when you write them on resumes, and you write them on LinkedIn, and you write them in emails, and you say, I am an enthusiastic person, I'm a strategic thinker, I'm all these things, it just diminishes. It really devalues what you're trying to say. So these must be demonstrated. These can be demonstrated in a number of ways. Either you're enthusiastic or you're not. I happen to be an enthusiastic person. I don't have to tell people I'm enthusiastic. I get told I'm enthusiastic. That's the way it breaks down. So, I guess in closing, I would like to wrap this up so we can have some kind of discussion time and coaching around this. I'll leave us with this slide. When we consider, you know, what we're putting on the resume, I always like to look at the who, what, when, where, why. But I always emphasize the how, and perhaps in a different way than you might be thinking. Because in order to convey all these things that we've been talking about, we have to put the who, you know, that's us, the people I work for, you know, the what, the roles I played, the value that I brought, when I did it, where I'm going, all these kind of things. But do you know how you create curiosity on a resume? It lies in this. It lies in leaving this off. Many people like to put that on their resume, and it really diminishes it. It nosedives any amount of curiosity that you can induce in the reader. Because I can recall many times, you know, reading. We hired an engineering director one time, and on his resume, it almost killed him. But on his resume, he actually went so far as to write. You know, he was talking about, you know, his hiring methods and all these things, and he actually wrote how he decreased costs and did all these things. But you know, it actually caused a delay in his hiring because we didn't need to talk to him. We chose to put him on the side and go, well, this guy's really exciting, he's really qualified. We know exactly what he does and how he does it. And we ended up interviewing several other people. I mean, fortunately for him, he was hired. But I'll never forget that instance because his qualifications were just phenomenal. The value that he brought to an organization was clear. We had no reason to talk to him. So we felt like we had an understanding. And when we did talk to him, we found out, you know, just like you might expect, he had a lot more to offer. Mm-hmm. But I do advise, consider that. Consider leaving specifics of how. Get the specifics of what you did, specifically the value that you bring, using the worksheets that I handed out, and we can talk about those. So in closing, it's all about using these worksheets and understanding. I can't beat it in the ground enough. Features and functions are always what we find on resumes. Get past it. Get something else on there that's more valuable. Get to the benefits, get to the implications, and really define the impact. We can have some discussion. Nicole, would you like to lead it, or?
I was wanting to ask a question.
Yes.
Could you possibly send Nicole this PowerPoint so we could have it?
Sure.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Because it's so much information and
Yeah.
couldn't write fast enough, but it would be great to have.
Absolutely. I should have said ahead of time. Absolutely. That's a good.
Thank you.
Yeah. I've got some other resources I'll send along with it. I got some other slides.
Well, what I was thinking that we would do is that we would break everybody up into groups, and what we would do is we would coach each other around this worksheet that you brought, So, you said, what we have on our resumes are features and functions. And so what I'd like to do is like actually time this, do it in dialogue format, but have each person say, this is the most recent job I've had. This is the job I'm looking for. And then have them talk a little bit about their experience, best things that they've ever done at their job and that kind of thing. And then have the other people share out what they hear the benefits were. When you were speaking and telling us about your last job, this is the benefits I heard, and this is the impact I heard you might have had on the company. So getting other people to just kind of speak into the process of what they hear through their story. How does that land for you?
Sounds good.
Okay. All right, so let's do that. Let's